This is a picture of my mother and father and my older sister. I have to put that older sister in. And myself. My dad's name was Leonard Barrett Ham, and my mother was Trula Berdina Hazelton before she got married. My mom and dad knew each other as kids and grew up in rural Iowa. My sister Beverly Jean Ham was born March 25th, 1933, and I was born 3 years later, February 23rd, 1935. My whole name is Joy Ann, but my mother stuck an E on the end of Joy. That was so people wouldn't say Joanne. She wanted them to say Joy Ann. All my life, however, I've been called Joyce, because when anyone sees the E, they automatically want to stick a C in there. I lived over in southwestern Iowa in the rural farm county, Taylor, Iowa, until I was about 3 years old, and then we moved to a mining town in Holden, Washington. This is a picture of my sister Beverly and myself, probably taken in 1936 or 37.
This is a picture of my mother and father. My mother's name was Esther Lorella Miller before she married Dad. In later years, everybody called her Granny. And my father was Chester Randolph Eugene Malmstrom, but everybody called him Gene. This picture was taken on their 50th wedding anniversary on July 28, 1979. This picture was taken approximately 1940. That's a picture of my older brother, Alvin Eugene Malmstrom, and my older sister, Mary Ellen Malmstrom Stewart, and me, Herbert Allen Malmstrom. I had a nickname of Murphy, and that name was given to me by my father because when I was born I was pretty well beat up, and to my dad, that anybody that was beat up looked like a prize fighter, and to him the name of a fighter should be Murphy. So that nickname stuck, and my family still to this day refers to me as Murphy or Murph. The dog there was my best friend at the time, a dog by the name of Freckles. During the Second World War, my dad was in the Navy, and so my mother made me a sailor outfit, taken probably in 1942, 1943 time frame. Picture on the right, of course, is when I went on active duty in the Navy on my own right. I enlisted in 1954 and was on active duty until 1956.
Murph and I met in high school, although we really didn't know each other very well then and didn't really move in the same circles. The first I was really aware of him was when a girlfriend of mine told me that her boyfriend was going to be coming to her locker between classes. I watched and I saw Murph at her locker, so that was really the first good look I had of him. Murph says he knew who I was in school. He talked about being impressed when I handed him a program as he entered the school auditorium to watch this program.
Yeah, I always kind of figured that she touched my hand in passing out the program and must have touched my heart at the same time. We actually started dating during the summer after we graduated, and we were both coming off of other dating situations and really started with each other to get even with our past boyfriends and girlfriends. We really showed them. As of this year, December 21st, 1998, we will have been married for 44 years.
Boy, we showed them, huh?
Yep. Okay, this is a picture of my 1948 Oldsmobile 98 convertible. Joy and I worked hard to put our names on the back bumpers, so I guess we would know that we're going to belong to one another. Joy's sitting on the bar at my grandmother Baum's 80th birthday party up in Moline, Illinois. I was in the Navy Reserves and went on active duty in 1954. At that time, we had kind of talked about getting married in 2 years when I got out of the service, but it wasn't too long after I went in that we decided to go ahead and get married, since we were kind of missing each other. We had hopes that Joy and I could be married and live together well before I got out of the service. So we got married on December 21st, 1954 in Moline, Illinois, on a very, very cold day, as I recall.
I was able to go join Murph in Norfolk, Virginia, and we lived in Navy housing there. I went out in 1955. At that time, Murph was stationed on a repair ship, the USS Amphion. I came home before he was dismissed from the Navy or discharged from the Navy, since we were expecting our first baby. That was in the summer of '56. And I moved in and stayed with Mom until Murph was discharged in August. And then he came back and we lived at Mom's for the first year we were out of the Navy.
Pictures of our three kids. Michael Allen Malmstrom was born on October 15th, 1956. And Lisa Ann, who is now Lisa Ann Atwood, was born March 20th, 1960. And Randall Eugene Malmstrom, Randy, was born on March 26, 1964. Picture up in the upper left-hand corner is a picture of me as a first-time daddy with my little boy. After I got out of the Navy, I started to attend St. Ambrose College in Davenport, Iowa, while working full-time. First while I was at Fairbanks Morse, and then at American Air Filter. Mike was born while I was in college, and Lisa was born before I finished college. I graduated in 1961 from St. Ambrose with a degree in engineering physics.
Those are really busy days for Murph, and they were busy days for me too, because I was home taking care of the little ones, Mike and Lisa. It was a hard, busy time for both of us.
I stayed busy coaching boys' baseball teams for quite a number of years, first with Mike and then with Randy. With boys being 8 years apart in age, I was able to devote full time to each one of the teams. First picture here is of Mike. He was probably about 11 years old. He and Randy both carry a love for baseball with them today. Hopefully it was part of the fun we had during these years. This is a picture of Randy when he was probably about 11 or 12 years old, and he played actually up until a freshman in high school. Both boys were good baseball players.
We always kind of laughed about Lisa and some of her athletic abilities. She was on the gymnastics team and always had a big laugh about the fact she had so much trouble doing a forward roll, staying on the balance beam. She came home so embarrassed one day because she finally had accomplished it without falling off the beam, and they announced it over the intercom at school the next morning. She really wasn't too happy about that. This is a picture of Lisa when she graduated from high school. She did, however, go on to Southeast Missouri and obtained a secretarial certificate. We always laughed about Lisa from the time she was a little bitty girl. She loved her important papers. So when she went on to secretarial school, that seemed very appropriate. She now lives in Las Vegas, has 2 kids, works days, goes to school in the evenings at UNLV, and she's working to get a degree in management information systems. So she will end up graduating from college before too many years go by.
Both Mike and Randy graduated from college in 1986. Randy from the University of Missouri of St. Louis, and Mike from Southwest Missouri State University in Springfield, Missouri. By the time Mike graduated, he had 2 kids and was working and going to school in the evenings. Randy is a CPA, and Mike is a computer analyst for the city of Colorado Springs. All 3 of our kids have made us very, very proud.
As Murph was saying, we were really proud of our kids, but we're also delighted with their spouses. They all married mates that we love and are friends with. And being friends with, I think, is an important part. Mike and Sue were married January 28th in 1978, and this is a picture of their wedding with her parents and with Murph and I.
Okay, Lisa married Brent on January 5th, 1980, and as you can see by the picture, Brent is the first tall member of our family.
Randy married Lisa Bratch, who is now another Lisa Malmstrom, October 13th, 1990. This picture shows Murph and I standing on both sides of Randy and Lisa. And then on the left-hand side is Brent, and the other, Lisa, used to be Malmstrom, Atwood. On the right, Mike and Sue, and Mike and Sue's 2 children, Jenny and David.
Our kids and grandkids are so much a part of our lives. Even though Randy and his wife Lisa and their 3 kids are the only ones who live in the St. Louis area now, all of our kids and grandkids are on our minds and our hearts every day that we live. This picture is of Mike and Sue and Jenny and David from Colorado Springs. Okay, these are our Las Vegas kids and grandkids. It's Lisa and Brent and Nicole and Brian. Okay, here's a picture of our St. Louis kids and grandkids, Randy and Lisa, in the main picture, along with Joshua and Amanda. And then in the smaller picture of the side is a picture of newly arrived Sarah, born in March of 1998.
One of the hobbies that I spent a lot of time on was sewing. This was one of the outfits that I had made, and of course you can see it's in the fall, probably about 1990. Mom always shared the same interest in the sewing that I did. We always spent time together when she would come down, sewing, working on quilts, wall hangings, and various things. The top picture, Mom is on the left and I'm on the right, and we're looking over one of the quilts she made. In the bottom, you can see Mom sitting at the sewing machine with her face reflected in the mirror, and I'm sitting next to her. That's the most recent picture. That probably was in '97. The one before was probably maybe back in 1992.
One time in my life, I was pretty heavily into running. This is a picture of me on December 3rd, 1983, when I was running the St. Louis Marathon. I finished the whole thing. One of the things we really enjoy doing is spending a lot of time with our families. Here's a picture of me with Lisa and Brent, Nicole and Brian, and we're hiking either in the southern part of Utah or in the desert around Las Vegas. Here again we're hiking, this time in Colorado, with Mike and Jenny and David, one of their Siberians named Cody.
One of our favorite places to go is in northern Cascades in Washington State. That's the area around Holden and Stehekin, which are both on Lake Chelan. It's been a wonderful experience for Murph and I to go there. When I was a little girl, about 3 years old, we lived there, I think, from 1938 to 1941. It's a gold mining and copper mining area. It's been a wonderful experience for us to go back and visit the area. We've been so entranced with the area that next year the kids are all talking about joining us and making it a family reunion. That would be in 1999. We're hoping that happens. This is a picture of me out on the Katy Trail in 1997. That's another thing Murph and I have really enjoyed doing, riding our bikes.
Buying our bikes was probably one of the smarter things we ever did. Here's a picture of me on the right and young son Randy out on the Katy Trail in 1996. In August of 1998, we were able to get together with all of our family except for Sue, Mike's wife, and Brent, Lisa's husband, in Piedmont, South Dakota for a family reunion with the rest of the Malmstrom clan. After a few days of having a good time at the reunion in South Dakota, then Joy and I took off and continued west through Yellowstone, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, before we came back to Missouri. It seems strange to be putting these pictures together now when hopefully we have many more years together, many more memories to make, and many more pictures yet to come.
Always when you look back on things, you remember the good things, the treasured memories, the wonderful times in your life. All of you know me, and you know how emotional I always get.
All of these things involve our families, each other, our children, and our grandchildren. How fortunate we were to have each other, had our wonderful children, and shared in their lives and those of our grandchildren. This was recorded on December 3rd, 1998.